Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl. I didn't. Um, well, I watched a little bit of it, and I watched halftime with my wife. She wanted to see that. Um, and what really struck me about it was how racist the Super Bowl halftime show was. That's right, racist. Um, I can't say I heard the lady reading the poetry because, like I said, I didn't, but I read about that she read a poem that she wrote about how America is, was, and always will be racist, a white woman. So that was pretty racist. And that was pretty negative, and that was pretty divisive, and that was pretty inflammatory, in my opinion. But what I really found really interesting was the Weeknd, the artist that performed. The platform is equality, the platform is inclusion, the platform is equal opportunity, the platform is to unify, bring together. That's the liberal platform. I don't know if you noticed, but as he performed, behind him was a chorus and an orchestra. I don't know how many people, I'm going to guess anywhere from 50, 60, 70 maybe. Various tiers of people. There was not one white face, not one white person in that entire chorus, in that entire orchestra, not one white person. How would that go over if there was not one person of color? If there was not on on a on a platform with a white performer? How would that go over? I don't think it would go over very well. This country is being driven by a racist agenda that doesn't exist. And the people that are pushing the racist agenda in this country are the people that live off of racism. I've said this many times. The people who thrive and prosper off of racism, who make their living and their income from racism. And they panicked when Barack Obama was elected president because they said, oh my goodness, we can't claim racism anymore. There's no systemic racism. Predominantly white voting public voted a black man president twice. What are we going to do? And that was the panic that occurred. The panic to try to stop um, the unification and the fact that racism had been put away and buried in this country. So it was brought back with Black Lives Matters and Antifa and the protests and the police and all the attacks on what was orchestrated in order to bring forth an agenda. That is what we saw yesterday. That is what we've seen. That is what we've heard. And that is what we continue to see and hear in this country. And it is all lies. It is motivated or built upon this Black Lives Matter movement, which is absolutely pointless. All lives matter. Uh, America is not divided by race, should not be divided by race. We're all Americans. And it was quite a display. I also tell you another thing that I saw. Remember not too long ago when Nancy Pelosi sat in front of Congress or the Senate and said that the word mother, daughter was no longer going to be allowed to be used, woman. Uh, they weren't going to use it anymore. Well, yesterday they made a big thing because yesterday there was a female referee doing the NFL Super Bowl. And they were not at a loss for claiming a woman, a female, um, all the accolades of the first woman. I thought that we weren't allowed to identify by gender anymore. That was something that was not going to be allowed. That Nancy Pelosi went on her little soapbox and determined that that was not acceptable language to be used on the Congress floor. I thought that these were all things that were dictated to and made part of the new agenda. And all of a sudden we see it and it's allowed to be It's allowed to be made part of the narrative when it's convenient and when it's something that they want to identify with. No, sorry. Finally, Joe Biden with his executive orders. You know, I saw a video of last October before the election, and they asked him about Donald Trump's executive orders, and he said, a president who just signs executive orders is a dictator, is not a president. Well, Joe Biden has signed about 40 executive orders in about 2.5, 3 weeks, a month, if you want, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. So it's dictator Biden. Weekend at Biden's. We've seen this and this duplicity and this BS. Again, all this does is point in the direction of what we need to do, which is a third party. Until we have a third party, this will continue. These headaches will continue. These problems will continue. And this two-faced effort to overthrow America will continue. We cannot allow this. We will not allow this. And the third party is what we need to ask for and demand and bring forth. Without a third party, we are just going to keep perpetrating the same past that we have seen up till now for the last several decades. Both sides of the House, both sides of the equation are corrupt. The Republicans and the Democrats don't need either one of them in the White House. Don't need either party to control Senate or the Congress. We don't need any of that. We need a third party. Hopefully, some of these things that I pointed out, you get a chance to look at and see what your thoughts are. The racist halftime show is something I would like your input on. And among the other things that we've spoken about, and we'll continue. All right. Thank you for your time, and have a good day. And again, I've asked and I continue to ask, and I appreciate the support of all those who support us, listen to us, and pass this along. Keep doing so. Our voice will be heard. Thank you.